Hey everyone, this is Scott from Forgot to Grow Up. Welcome to our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 6, Episode 8 Thoughts video. Just finished watching the latest episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Collision Course Part 1, and I'm just going to be sharing my general thoughts after I've just finished watching the episode. In this episode, we see the team works with Sarge in order to hopefully prevent the end of the world, but they don't really trust each other, that being S.H.I.E.L.D. or Sarge. And we also see Fitzsimmons almost making their way back to Earth with the help of a lady who's actually turns out is looking for the monoliths. So yeah, this episode was really fun. I like that they brought back a tie-in with the monoliths to previous seasons, kind of exploring where those things had actually come from, so they're not leaving this kind of a mystery with the monoliths. I'd almost forgotten about them a little bit because I was so invested in this season, so it was nice to have that kind of realization, or that be the reason at least why this lady with the Shrike, it seems like she's the creator of them, why she's looking for the stones. And apparently she's been on Earth before, because we see some research that S.H.I.E.L.D. had done for Mac, and that he was trying to work through and see that it looked like that she had been on Earth before, and that that's how S.H.I.E.L.D. at least learns that that she seems to be looking for the monolith. Obviously, Fitzsimmons don't know quite to the extent of her motivations. She doesn't know the Sarge side, but we also don't know 100% if Sarge is completely telling the truth, because we do learn in this episode that, Sarge's plan was first to use a sword, and then he decided he's going to use a bomb that's going to blow up a big chunk of Earth. So that's not exactly cool, Sarge, but I like that we got Sarge and Daisy kind of talking, and Daisy being like, how can you not be like curious about this? How do you not want to think there isn't a connection? He's like, I've been to a lot of planets. There's a lot of randomness, and I kind of like that idea, because it's like the universe is a big place. It's possible two people have the same DNA at some point. It's possible. Not very likely. It's very, very slim chance, and it's kind of boring story-wise, but it is possible. I hope it is more than just the fact that they just happen to be the same. I hope there's some kind of more connection. The fact that they bringing back more talk about the monoliths, like we had a little bit of mention about the monoliths previously in the season with the talk of time travel in order to save Enoch's planet, but the fact that we get a little bit more of the monolith talk in this episode makes me kind of think, is it possible that Sarge got sent back with a memory wipe, and that's there's just so many things that kind of so many implications with the fact that the monoliths come in and they travel you through space, time, and something else. There's 3 of them, I believe, right? I can't remember what the third. Some space, time, dimensions? Is the other one dimensions? Oh yeah, the fear dimension was the other one, which it seems to be that's where this Shrike lady potentially came from, based off the mythology and stuff that Mac had looked at. But yeah, this episode was, I don't want to say all over the place. My thoughts on it are a little bit all over the place. But yeah, this one, like I said, we mainly follow the team kind of trying to work with Sarge. We're still trying to figure out what they're not telling each other. And so that part was interesting. And then seeing kind of Fitzsimmons kind of, I don't want to say ignorantly going along, but not really 100% sure about what's happening with this lady. And then the fact that she, is looking for the monoliths and why she's exactly looking for the monoliths. So it'll be interesting to see what happens once Fitzsimmons reunites with the rest of S.H.I.E.L.D. and they're able to all get all on the same page. I'm really curious to find out, exactly how this all plays out. So I'm really curious for the next episode. But some of the other things I liked about this episode, at least, I liked when we got Deke and Mac pretty much blackmails or extorts Deke and takes 10% of his company, but that's what Deke gets for being a little bit creepy. I already mentioned how I liked Sarge and Daisy. That was just a fun kind of conversation to see. What else do we have? Oh, Fitz being jealous of himself. It's like continuing things, since Fitz has found out that Gemma was actually married to his future self, and he's being a little insecure about that, which is understandable. Like he says, he's not technically her first husband. But he is at the same time. It's very weird when you get into time travel and all these parallel timelines and stuff. So it's just kind of funny that he even admits that he is jealous of himself in the episode. So I just really kind of like that. That's pretty much what those two are kind of dealing with more so even in this episode. The fact that Fitz is still a little bit, Fitz is jealous of himself for having already had, a lot of these firsts with Gemma. They're well, not first, but they had started and now they're kind of restarting again, and so it's like his first wedding to her isn't her first wedding to him. So that's just a weird thing. So I kind of get why Fifth is weird about it, but he's also being a little bit dramatic because he's just, again, he knows he's being jealous of himself, but he knows it's weird, so it's okay. But I still love that little part we got. I like that we got Deke and Snowflake. That was a couple I didn't see coming, but for some reason I like it because she gets Deke, and Deke likes that she gets him, and that's cool. So, you know, why not? That was just funny. It was a funny little addition, especially with Sarge coming in and being like, I preferred when you killed them. It's just like, ah. But yeah, and then like the last thing is how the Shrike attack starts with like a bunch of the people who had been infected on Earth with them and all coming into a field and making this big tower, which I guess is gonna extend up to meet the ship. I guess the ship maybe is gonna. It's kind of a little bit vague, a little bit. Sarge kind of tried to explain it. I was also eating a burger at the time. But that's not the point. The point is that's all my thoughts on this episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Be sure to let me know in the comments below what you thought about this latest episode, what your predictions are for part 2 of Collision Course, the second part of this two-part, I'm guessing 2-part episode. But yeah, that's all my thoughts. Be sure to let me know in the comments below what you thought. Thanks again for joining me today. Sure, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and have a good one.